Well, hello there, everybody. Max Scoville here for Destructoid, and here is your news update about video games for the week of April 10th, 2014. I have to look at the date every time I do this because I'm forgetful. So, some big news coming out of the games industry this week. If you missed it, there was a huge, big Nintendo Direct all about the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Games. As you might be familiar, there are two of them. There's the Wii U version and the 3DS version. Probably a big piece of news to come out of this that has some people with their collective panties in a big old bunch is the fact that the 3DS version is coming out this summer, whereas the Wii U version is going to have to wait until this winter. So that is a ways off, and I think some people were kind of hoping this would be sort of a simultaneous thing so they could have a big old Super Smash summer, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We know some new stuff about the new roster character members additions. We got Yoshi, Sheik, Zero Suit Samus, Charizard, Greninja. Sheik, Zero Suit Samus, and Charizard, who previously have been in the games, they are now their own separate characters. So you can be like, do I want Samus to have clothes on or no clothes on? Those are two different characters. Full disclosure here, I am terrible at Super Smash Bros. And I really don't know a whole lot about it, and I feel like the people who probably know more than me already know more than me about the new stuff. So if you're one of those people, don't get mad at me for not knowing it. You should just go and watch that entire long-ass Nintendo Direct thing yourself. I'll put a link to it down below, so if you want to take in all of the information from those fine folks at Nintendo, you can figure that out. One piece of information that I was not quite able to make sense of, apparently the 3DS version of Super Smash Bros. Is going to be running at 60 frames a second, regardless of whether or not the 3D is on, except for some of the Pokemon, which apparently only run at 30 frames a second. I don't understand that one bit. Could somebody please explain what the hell that means? And I would appreciate that very much. While we're on the subject of things that Nintendo is releasing for you to go out and purchase sometime this summer, Pokémon and Legend of Zelda are both getting their own Monopoly games. So if you don't have video games, you can play board games about video games. And those are coming out on August 15th and 21st, respectively. You can get in arguments with your family about these games. Another big franchise that is in the news this week is Borderlands, of which we have just learned there is a new game. This is not a sequel, this is not a prequel, it is Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, which I guess takes place between the two games, which is a pretty wacky, silly thing to do that you would expect from the folks who make Borderlands. This is actually being developed by 2K Australia, who haven't actually been, too heavily involved in this. This isn't Gearbox directly. What's kind of cool here is that we are seeing kind of an outsider's perspective, and good old Randy Pitchford said that it's kind of how you'd expect fans to approach the series, which is neat. And they've added some cool additions. This is actually, the game features 4 playable characters, as you'd expect, but they're all familiar characters who haven't been playable up until now. You've got Athena from the General Knox expansion. There's Sheriff Nisha, who is an NPC in Borderlands 2. There's Wilhelm, who is the first big giant robot boss from Borderlands 2, except this is before he became a big giant robot, but apparently throughout the game you will get those cybernetic enhancements that make him more of a big robot. And speaking of robots, there's also Claptrap. You can play as Claptrap now, and because he's real little and tiny, the camera is lower to the ground, so it's like you're going around on a little wheel. It's all cute. What's really cool here is this is on the moon. This is on Pandora's moon. You are not on Pandora anymore, and because you are on the moon, you have lower gravity, and you also have to manage your oxygen. But the oxygen can also be used as jetpack fuel because you have a jetpack. And yeah, this sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like they're actually adding a lot of cool, fun stuff here. There's also apparently ice bullets. You can now do freezing damage, such as, slowing enemies down or just hitting them repeatedly until they freeze solid and then shooting them, and then they explode into ice particles and fly everywhere. We're going to be seeing more of this. I think this was actually supposed to be Gearbox's big surprise for PAX East, which is happening this weekend, but it got leaked and then they kind of addressed it. But we're going to see more of this, I would assume, by next week. So if you're excited about that, continue being excited and stay tuned for more information. While we're still on the subject of Borderlands, it should be announced that there is a Borderlands 2 PlayStation Vita bundle that is coming out on May 6th. This is actually the new, slim, super skinny, sexy, little tiny PlayStation Vita, not like the big clunky one that came out a while ago. So if you've been wanting to get your hands on this, which has not been released in the States yet, this is how you can do it. Apparently the bundle is $200, comes with an 8 gig memory stick, as well as Borderlands 2, and then I guess all the DLCs that came out with that, which is kind of an awesome deal if you ask me. I'm not even crazy about Borderlands, but that is a pretty sweet deal, and I already have a Vita. So if you don't already have a Vita and you like Borderlands 2, this seems like kind of a no-brainer. Of course, it helps if you have $200. If you don't have $200 and you do have a Vita and you don't want that bundle, you have to wait an extra week until May 13th to pick up Borderlands 2 on its own for your Vita. That's going to be available as a little box and as a thing you can download from the internet onto your Vita. There you go, Borderlands. While we're talking about games that already came out being re-released on Sony devices, it should be noted that The Last of Us is getting a remastered version for PlayStation 4. That is coming out sometime this summer. And if you didn't play The Last of Us and you have a PlayStation 4, just go buy this, because it's probably going to be really pretty. I was just stunned at how good Last of Us looked to begin with on PlayStation 3, so seeing them kind of up-res that to 1080p or, you know, trick out the textures or add new particle blending, tessellation physics, or whatever the hell it is that they do when they make games, well, good news, because they're doing it now. So, The Last of Us. I bet we thought we'd seen the last of it, but it's not. Let's move on. Speaking of survival horror, my God, I'm good at segues. The Evil Within is going to be coming out on the week of August 26th. It's August 26th in North America, August 28th in Australia, and August 29th in Europe, because nothing can ever be so simple. That's going to be on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, and PC. And this is a spooky, scary game about some creepy monster shit. So if you'd like to see some spooky, scary, creepy monster shit, check out this bitchin' trailer they put up. It's got a goat that somebody killed on a tree stump. And oh my God, that man's being thrown up on some rebar. What a monster. Survival horror, everybody. Enjoy yourself. Pretty much everybody fell in love with Supergiant Games' Bastion, and I know a lot of people are really looking forward to Transistor, which is their follow-up, which looks super slick, very sexy. That is a pretty goddamn game. And finally, we have a release date. That's coming to PC and PS4 on May 20th, and it will be $20 for you to download. And it's nice, and they gave away some new screenshots that don't give away too much. So there you go, screenshots, everybody. So that's pretty much all your video game news for this week, or at least the video game news that I felt like recounting to you. If you have more video game news that you'd like me to talk about, well, you should just suggest it in the comments, and I'm going to do something about that. Actually, we are going to be doing something about that. I've decided to rearrange the video schedule that we've kind of been adhering to so far. I realized that Thursday News Day sounds stupid, so we're switching news to Tuesday, so it's going to be Tuesday News Day. So come back here on Tuesday if you'd like to learn about more news, and I like that it sounds like Tuesday News Day. That's fun for me. On Monday, we're going to have Farts and Crafts, and I'm going to draw a picture of God knows what. And on Wednesday, I don't know, we might put up something strange, who knows. And then on Friday, we're going to have dumb idiot ideas. And Thursday, I haven't figured it out yet. But we're trying to make more fun videos for you guys to watch. If you haven't already, subscribe, please, or like, or favorite, or comment, or whatever the hell people do on the internet. Man, the internet is stupid. Anyway, yeah, if you want some news to read about, go to Destructoid.com. If you want to holler at me on Twitter, I'm Max Scoville. And yeah, see you guys around. It's really nice out. We're going to go play outside right now. No, seriously, it's gorgeous. If it's nice where you live, you should go outside too. Because video games are great, but sunshine has vitamin D. We all need a little D sometimes. See you guys later.